Hello, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus, and welcome to another live stream Saturday. I hope you guys have had a great week and that your weekend has started well as well. Anyway, I've just had a little warning coming up on the screen, but I think we just managed to style it out. It's gone back to green again, so a little bit of a scare immediately. The first thing to mention is that there is going to be a little bit of a Christmas theme to this particular live stream, but also I'm going to be doing one on Tuesday night. So on Tuesday night is probably when I'm going to be wearing the Santa's hat. I haven't got it on tonight, as you can tell, because we still have another live stream to go before Christmas. But hello everybody in the live chat room. Let me get you guys up on screen and see if everything that I've been doing setting up this live stream is actually going to work. And there it is, the chat room. And it is still the live chat room, but it's been obliterated by Christmasness in that box there. So hello everybody, we have Scotty, Billy, Lynn and Ken and Susan and Dennis are in the house, and Sue and Corey and Jill and Neil moderating, and Android Generic as well, and Mario is in the house. So everybody say a huge hello to Mario. That's what we do on these live streams, and it's going to be a very early hello to Mario tonight. And if you get a chance to hit that thumbs up as you come through the door on this live stream, it would be much appreciated, because we are aiming for 350 likes tonight. And we're also going to be aiming for 360 likes to get the pick roulette going next week. Maybe. I'm still not sure when Christmas Day is or what's going on, when I'll be streaming and when I won't be streaming. But I'll let you guys know as soon as I figure it out and look into the future a little bit and plan it. But anyway, let me get the names of my patrons up on screen, because these are the people that make this possible in the first place, and everything that I do on the channel possible as well. So thank you guys so much for your support. You know who you are. Going along the bottom of the screen are always my patrons' names for every single live stream, and they do also pop up in the super chat window as well. So let's get that up on screen and see if Santa's standing on top of it, and he is. So I'm just going to have a look at the screen for a minute, because I think everything is working that I set up. Fingers crossed it'll stay there. So I'm gonna have to scroll up, because we have had a lot of donations already, so thank you guys so much for this. And we had one from Orlando, and this was at 5 to 8 this morning, so thank you so much for that, Orlando. And it was for $2. The message is, I may be late, but spike the likes with lots of thumbs up. And I don't think that's really too late. Is actually very early. I think it was because I didn't set up the live stream until yesterday morning about 5 a.m. or maybe 4 or 5 a.m. So I was a little bit late setting up the event, so it meant that there was no event to comment on or do anything with. So apologies for that, but I got there just before I went to bed. And Deborah has donated $9.99. Thank you for that, Deborah. The message is hello to Phil and Wingers. So everybody say hello to Deborah in that live chat room as well. Thank you for that. And we have a $10 donation from Renee as well. So thank you so much for that, Renee. And the message is, so happy to be spending my birthday with fellow wingers today, with a heart. So a happy birthday to Renee as well, or you can type out Nora if you want to. This is an alias, I believe, if I remembered it correctly. So everybody say a massive happy birthday to Nora or Renee, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Marilyn has donated $5. Thank you for that. And the message is, hi Phil, going to family Christmas party. I'll be in the catch-up crew. Have fun, with a heart. So thank you for that, and have a great Christmas party. It isn't something that I've been to yet. I think, well, with COVID and everything at the moment, we've just been changed to a tier 4 situation, and I thought that there were only 3 tiers, so it gives you an idea of how bad things are here at the moment. and all non-essential shops are going to be closing. Everyone's going to stay in their houses, and I'm not sure what people are doing for Christmas. Certainly no Christmas parties going on in the UK, or at least there shouldn't be, because we're at a tier 4 and it just means that you're not allowed to go outside anyway. But the good thing is that even staying inside, we can still do these live streams and kind of get a little bit Christmassy. We are going to be playing a little bit of my Jingle Bells cover later on in this live stream. I'll also play that on Tuesday just so you guys can get totally sick of it by then. And we're also going to have another cover video as well as that little Jingle Bells thing that I made. But thank you, Marilyn, for that donation. And Debbie has donated $9.99. Thank you for that, Debbie. The message is, "Hi Phil, can't be here tonight, but we spiked the likes. We had to have COVID tests and just got back. We are pooped and hungry. Hope you all have fun." So thank you for that, Debbie. And I hope that everything's okay with the COVID tests. I think the problem is that here in the UK, even though we're supposed to be on lockdown, or we were supposed to be on lockdown for 3 weeks in, when was that, November? Going into December. I don't think a lot of people actually did that, and now the problem is 3 weeks afterwards it's now spiking again, and also just people not doing what they should be doing. Unfortunately, it's something that we haven't really got control of. Also, maybe people hearing news about the vaccine then just got relaxed and started going out and not wearing masks and doing all that kind of stuff, not realizing that just because there's a vaccine doesn't mean that everybody's now immune to it. Only particular or the high risk people are getting the vaccines at the moment. So we just got to try and be a little bit more sensible here in the UK. Not that I think that can happen, unfortunately, but hopefully everything is relatively okay where you guys are. Really important to stay safe, especially around Christmas, because it's so tempting to go and mingle with so many other people. But thank you, Debbie, for that donation. And we have had a donation from Deborah as well for $5. Thank you for that. The message is Meli Kalimkimaka. Meli Kalimkimaka. Phil, Merry Christmas in Hawaiian. Hugs. So thank you for that, Deborah. That certainly was a test of not only my reading ability, but my general speaking ability. So apologies for that pronunciation. I'm going to have another go at saying it. Meli Kalikimaka. Maybe, but I don't know how it's pronounced. And thank you, Deborah, for that Christmas gift of a word that I've never heard before. But thank you as well for the donation. And Jen has donated $5 as well. Thank you for this, Jen. The message is, "Hiya, TSO did a live stream last night for the masses. Do you like them?" And I'm not sure. I'm going to have to look into that. I don't want to say which band I think it is, but is it the boy band? I'm not sure. I don't really keep up with it too much. It's very difficult with there's so many bands as well. But maybe I'm getting totally confused as to what's going on here, because I've had so many people putting me in or pointing me in the direction of so many bands. Maybe my brain's just taken a little bit of a detour for the moment. I think I've used all of my mental ability trying to get all of these things up on the screen, and now I can't think straight. So I will have to have a think about that. I'll have a think while the video is playing and sort that out. But thank you for that, Jen. And Michael has donated $5. Thank you for that, Michael. And the message is, Carla Murray, I agree, thumbs up. So thank you for that, Michael. Very early on in the live stream for an I agree to be typed in there. But we will see where we get with the whole thumbs up situation. Let me see if I can get the live likes up on screen, because we have, for some reason, again, it just moves off the screen whenever we start the live stream, which is really annoying, but it happens every time. So I'm going to have to try and organize this. Let me see if I can do it live. Grab that, move it over there so we can see the number. It's 149. So really close to the 150 mark, and there it is, right on cue. Thank you everyone for hitting that thumbs up. You can keep on doing that throughout the live stream. That'd be much appreciated. It helps this channel to grow, but these live streams to get out there as well. So Thank you for that. Michael Lethia has donated $5. Thank you so much for that, Lethia. And the message is, COVID testing is awful. It feels like they are putting mascara on your brain. I made the weirdest noises. Maybe an awesome song trying to be born. With a shocked face, I think that is. So thank you for that donation. And it's something that I haven't been tested for COVID. I haven't been anywhere. I've just been in this room, and pretty much nobody has been in this room apart from me. So I don't really think that I'm particularly going to be spreading it, first of all, but catching it, because I haven't really had that contact with anybody other than family, and that's what we're having here in the UK. You have your family bubble, and you're not allowed to go into somebody else's bubble or something. But yeah, I know that I've just been in here, and it's absolutely fine. I'm very low risk, I think, with what I do on a day-to-day basis. But thank you, Alethea, for that. Paul has donated $5. Thank you for this, Paul. The message is, spike the likes, and let's enjoy our happy place. So, Sullivan has donated $3 as well. Thank you for that, Sullivan. The message is, Phil, what's your favourite movie of all time? That's a good question. Probably, I don't know. It would have to be probably a tie between The Matrix, probably Lord of the Rings, and I don't know if I can. I mean, The Matrix, probably the first movie. Lord of the Rings, I don't know, probably. I know it's a book, obviously, but if I'm talking about movies here, I don't know, maybe the first movie of Lord of the Rings, but I just like them all. I always watch them all. If I'm going to watch Lord of the Rings movies, I usually make a few days of it and watch one day and another day. Generally, it'll have to be over a Christmas period, because it means that I'm spending less time doing stuff, but over the last few years that hasn't really happened, so I just watch a little bit at a time. But Back to the Future as well is one of those favourites that I always go back to, and again, probably more the first movie or the second movie. Not as much of a fan of the third movie, but again, that's just a box set that I'll watch all three movies if I am watching Back to the Future. But don't get me started on movies, because then I'll start thinking about other ones. Rocky, for example. I've got the box set, and I'll generally watch all of the Rocky movies, apart from Rocky 5, probably. I'll have a little skip over from 4 to then Rocky Balboa. But anyway, Rambo as well. As I said, don't get me started. I like to watch lots of films, especially if there's a series of them. Harry Potter as well. That's something where I've actually been to the studios here in London, where you get to go on a tour and see everything that they used in the movies, which is really cool, because you go on all of the sets and you get to see it and walk exactly where they all walked in the movies. So really cool stuff. Anyway, thank you. I said don't get me started, but I started off myself. Thank you for that, Sullivan. And Carl has donated $5. Thank you for that, Carl. The message is, please stay safe and COVID-free to all, for the usual or takeaway except McDonald's, maybe Chinese or pizza. So thank you for that, Carl. And I think I am overdue a Chinese or pizza. I don't think it's particularly Christmassy, but maybe I'll have to get one of those in next week. Thank you for that, Carl. Paul has donated $50. Thank you so much for that, Paul. A very kind donation. The message is, hi Phil, I really liked your Robert Cray analysis. I pulled out a guitar and tried a few of your pointers with good results. Thanks. A question 2. I read something about you being an understudy in Rock of Ages. True? Question mark. So thank you for that, Paul. And no, that's not true. That's something that the newspapers in this country, for some reason, got a hold of that. I don't know where from, and said that, yeah, I was part of that show at the West End, but I never have been, never had any connections to it. So I don't know. I think it is purely the look. Maybe they thought that I'd been in it and I looked like somebody who was in Rock of Ages, but yes, not true. But thank you for that, Paul, and it's good to hear that the pointers that I gave yesterday have maybe helped you out a little bit with extending that minor pentatonic shape. But thank you for that, Paul. And Jan has donated 50 Norwegian kroner as well. Thank you for that, Jan. And Tim has donated $5 as well. Thank you for that, Tim. The message is, this money was supposed to go towards my COVID test, but since I have no need for mascara, you can have this. So thank you for that, Tim. And I don't think it's exactly mascara that they're using, but thank you, Tim, for that anyway. It could be a good look. You could go a little bit hard rock or glam rock with a bit of mascara. You never know. But thank you for all of these donations, guys, so early on in the live stream. It is massively appreciated. And we are going to be getting into the first video of the night. Just a quick shout out to the moderators in the live chat room because they do such a great job on these live streams. And we have Paul in there, I think, and Carla. Laurie will be in there as well, and Neil. So thank you guys for doing such a great job on moderating these live streams. Not that we need too much moderating, I don't think. Only the occasional person who comes in and doesn't really know how these live streams work, that it isn't just something where you just throw loads of abuse around, but maybe that's just what people like to spend their time doing. I've never really understood that. Even with the comments on the YouTube videos, that they spend so long on the channel, you think surely they've got something better to do than just keep on messaging on the videos, but it takes all sorts, I guess, and they just have a little bit too much time. Anyway, fortunately, I think on the channel it's not too bad and we kind of get away with it. Only very occasionally do people comment negatively, and more often than not, they don't realize how long I've been teaching guitar and playing and what I've done with the original music, and that I sell albums and I make a living from selling my music. So I don't think they understand that. They don't do any research into it. And then I had one guy who had 0 videos on his channel, and he was saying about me how I wasn't very good at playing guitar and all this other stuff. But I said I'll check out his channel to see him playing, and he didn't have any videos. And that's always the case. These people that aren't doing anything themselves, and then they have a go at somebody who is just doing something and is trying to do something. And it's always interesting that it's just the people, I think it's maybe just an insecurity in themselves, that they know that they haven't really done anything and just have to spend time on other people's channels. But anyway, as I said, fortunately we seem to be okay on these live streams, and generally on the whole in the analysis video comment section it's a nice place to be. But anyway, having said that, thank you moderators for doing such a great job on these streams. So we are going to be jumping into the first video of the night, and just as I say that, Vince has popped in to the super chat window with a $10 donation. Thank you for that, Vince. The message is, would anyone be interested in a Zoom after party on Tuesday, a real face-to-face after party? In other words, beyond the virtual after party we have on Facebook. Could you do that, Phil? So thank you for that, Vince. And I'm probably not going to be able to do anything after the live stream because it's going to be so late here in the morning. We normally finish this around 1:15, 1:20 in the morning, and then I spend maybe 4 hours on the messages that I haven't answered yet from when I've been pre-planning the live stream, because I can't answer comments or emails while I'm doing that, so they tend to kind of stack up while I'm getting things ready for the live stream. And then I do the live stream. When I finish the live stream, I then hop straight into the messages to get those done before I get to bed, which is usually at about 4 or 5 a.m. So after the live streams is quite a busy time, so if I was to do a Zoom thing after that, then it means that I'll be pushing all of those messages potentially into the next day, and I try not to allow everything to pile up, because if it goes into the next day, it means that whatever I'm doing the next day, if it's a live analysis, for example, I can't do the preparations for that day's analysis in the evening. I'm sure you guys understand that, yeah, it starts putting me behind, and then I might just be totally stressed trying to just get the next video done because I've had so little time, because I've lost X amount of hours the previous day. Anyway, thank you, Vince, for that. But I'm sure other people can join in and maybe organize or help organize that Zoom meeting, and it's something that you guys can talk about in the live chat room. But thank you for bringing that up, Vince. Mario has donated $200. Thank you so much for that, Mario. Another crazy donation, massively appreciated. You can just about see Mario's Maton in the background behind the telly, and when I say telly I mean the guitar. That's the Maton there, and that's the the Telecaster, and yeah, people trying to see where a TV is. Anyway, thank you for that, Mario. And the message is, here's to helping you deck the halls with boughs of holly, Phil, with smiley faces. So thank you for that, Mario. And I think pretty much this year the plan is, I know that we're on extreme lockdown here, but because we've got a family bubble, it means that I can go to my sister's with my family over there, and then she can visit on Boxing Day. So I think Christmas Day, Boxing Day is going to be really busy. I'm not sure what's going to be happening there on the channel, whether I'm going to be live streaming or doing any videos, because I know that it's going to be really busy days for me, those two. But I'll keep you guys in the loop over on Patreon, and let's have a plug of the link for Patreon as well. If you guys want to head over there, this is where the people whose names are at the bottom of the screen at the moment, they hang out at Patreon with me, and I always keep people updated, and that's where I will do a post to let you guys know when I'll be doing videos, when I won't be doing videos, depending on what's happening over Christmas. But certainly Christmas Day, Boxing Day are going to be busy days for me, away from doing music and analysis videos and all that kind of stuff. So you want to head over to patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus. I will see you guys over there, but let's get rid of that and jump into the first video of the night. Quickly, Deborah has donated $5. Thank you for that, Deborah. The message is, ever met Jimmy Page? So thank you for that, Deborah. And no, I haven't met Jimmy Page. And some people say that I look like Jimmy Page in the comment section, but I don't think I've had that particularly. Maybe Keanu Reeves as well. I don't know. I don't know who I look like, but Jim Morrison as well sometimes pops up. But anyway, thank you for that, Deborah. And also James Blunt. There are lots of different people that I look like, apparently, but I haven't met Jimmy Page, but I have been compared to him facially before. Anyway, thank you, Kay, as well, who has donated $10, and that's a straight up donation. So thank you for that. We are going to be jumping into the first video of the night, and I'm going to pop over to Patreon to have a look at where this was requested. Again, thank you guys for answering my request for requests over on Patreon. And let me have a little look to see who requested Paris Nord. It was Kevin in there who has requested it. And I'm just going to have a quick scroll down because Karen requested it as well. So thank you guys for that. And I'm not going to have time to scroll all the way down, but we are going to be listening to the album version of Paris Nord. I hope you guys enjoy it. And this is one of my songs, by the way, from my album. And I will see you guys after this. Rock.
Skies, both hypnotized. Find a way, find a way. Spend the night with you in Paris, Lord. So unfair, you left me there. Took the 9:35 from Paris. stuck in a world of regret. And it's 9:35. I'm not happy, but I feel alive. So much I wanted to say, but now it's too late. Find a way, find a way, spend the night with you in a Pegasus. So unfair, you left me there. Took the 9:35 from Pegasus.
And there we have it. That was my song called Paris Nord. I hope you guys enjoyed that one, and you can get that over at wingsofpegasus.com/store, where you can get my album as well, which is called Persistence, and that is the site. It's pretty self-explanatory, wingsofpegasus.com. Just type it in. Even in Google, if you search for Wings of Pegasus, you'll just find everything that you're looking for. So we are going to be moving on with the live stream. We're going to be having a little bit of a different pick roulette later on tonight as well, because we're going to have the standard pick roulette, which means that somebody's going to go away with a pick, a signed pick, a limited edition pick, and we're also going to be doing a spin for a tin. I got to write some of these things down because I say them just off the cuff and they could be little catchphrases. But anyway, we're then going to have a spin for a tin, and that is this, the Wings of Pegasus pick tin, and then we're going to have a spin for some picks. So it means that potentially we're going to have 3 winners tonight of separate things, and it could be the case that we get one person who's just very lucky and wins all 3, but the odds of that are pretty slim. But we will see what happens, so stay tuned, because we're going to be spinning that wheel like you wouldn't believe tonight for a special Christmas edition of the Pick Roulette. So anyway, we'll get to that after the second cover video that we're going to be playing. We're going to have a look at Jingle Bells first, and then we're going to be having a look at the cover, or a cover, that was requested over on Patreon as well. But jumping back into the Super Chat window, because we've had some action in there, and I just want to scroll up to make sure I don't miss anything out here. We had Kay, and Michael has donated $10. Thank you for this, Michael. The message is, do you analyze dance videos? Also, what would be a fair amount to have a video taken somewhere so you can see how I get on? So thank you for that, Michael. And I've never analysed any dance videos. If you're talking about dancing from a choreography point of view, I don't really know anything about that, so I've never done any videos on dancing. In terms of when you say what would be a fair amount to have a video taken somewhere, I'm not sure what you're referring to. If you're saying about paying money for me to have a look at you playing guitar or something, generally, and pretty much since I started, this isn't really on the channel about if people pay me then I'll look at them. I just look at the requests that people put in the comments section of the YouTube videos, so that I just go through those. I'm not going to be ever really taking people's requests, or I do get a lot of messages and emails about people asking me to look at their playing and can they be featured on the channel, and it might be them practicing or just playing a particular song, but it's one of those things that I'm not going to feature. Well, I just haven't got time to feature everybody, unfortunately. I have to go with the videos that are mostly requested, and if there are maybe 5 or 10 or 15 requests for a particular artist or a particular video, then I tend to go in those directions rather than look at individual people who have emailed me asking me to look at them. So yes, and also I don't want to turn it into a bidding war, because that's not what the channel is about, and that's why you don't see any adverts on my channel. You do see adverts because the copyright holders of the songs that I analyze, the record companies just put loads of adverts on, and I can't control that, unfortunately. But if I can control it, I try and take the adverts off. But as you can imagine, it's just a war that I'm never going to win, because record labels always put adverts on any video that features their songs so that they can take the ad revenue. But the other side of it, I was going to say that you never see on the channel me promoting games or promoting anything that a lot of other YouTubers do, and that's absolutely fine. But for me, it's about music and analysing music and just trying to teach a bit as well. It's not about teaching a bit of music and then saying, by the way, have you seen this new game that I'm playing on my phone? And it's called like King of Doom or something stupid. I'm not going to start doing that, even though I do get emails about it. But that's what I mean. I try and keep this channel as free and ad-free and smooth to watch as possible. It is difficult when it's out of my hands with the copyrights, but other than that, like I said, I don't want to turn the channel into some kind of bidding war for particular videos and that kind of stuff. But anyway, thank you, Michael, for that donation. And Jen has donated $5. Thank you for that, Jen. The message is, ideas what you want to get for Boxing Day, with an inquisitive face. And we don't really do anything for Boxing Day. All of the Christmas presents are given on Christmas Day, and then Boxing Day afterwards is just a day of just relaxation and probably recovering from Christmas Day for the amount of food that you've eaten. But also you finish off the food that you haven't been able to eat on Christmas Day, because there's usually quite a lot of it, and you have like cheese and crackers and peanuts and lots of really nice food that probably you shouldn't be eating a lot, but on Boxing Day it's absolutely fine. But thank you for that, Jen. And Lynn has donated $200. Thank you so much for that, Lynn, back in the house tonight. And the message is, thanks to Carla, Phil, and the Kind Winger crew for the get well wishes, good vibes, prayers, and a perfect song. I am everlastingly grateful. Y'all rock. So thank you for that, Lynn, and welcome back to the live streams and the live chat room and the super chat room as well. I'm sure everyone has said hello, and I'm sure everybody welcomes you back into the live chat room. Everybody say a big hello and welcome back to Lynn, and thank you so much for that very kind donation. And Vince has donated $20 again. Thank you for this, Vince. The message is, how about a Christmas Zoom after party on Wednesday after the live analysis? Phil, that would be about an hour early for you. Could you make that? Maybe an hour Zoom chat. By the way, the Zoom thing is Sandy H's idea. So thank you for that, Vince. And as I said earlier in this live stream, I haven't planned anything for around Christmas time, but I don't know what date the Wednesday analysis video would be. Maybe the 23rd, so that might be okay. But I've got to plan for not doing anything on the 24th, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day. I know that I'm going to be missing 2 whole days of where I would be normally doing my daily tasks and getting through emails and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know how realistic it is that I could do something that I haven't planned for doing, and especially like an hour, because once I finish the live analysis, it's exactly the same process for me. I then go into doing all the emails and getting it all sorted before bed. And if I can try and finish an hour earlier and get to bed at 4 rather than 5, then I always try to do that, because then it sets me up even better for the next day to keep everything organized. But I will let you know over on Patreon once I've figured it out. But it's just something that when I was talking to Michael Palmisano, it was great to talk to him about being so busy, because I think it's very difficult for people to understand, especially when you do everything yourself, like making all of these little things on the screen. It's a few hours work that you have to put on top of everything else that you do with the emails and the comments and the Instagram messages and the Facebook messages as well, and the emails, the website, and updating everything, and Patreon messages as well. So there's so much that I have to do on a daily basis that just doing something else would be something that I haven't planned for, and I pretty much have got every minute of my day booked up. But we will see what happens, but I'm not sure. It's going to be really difficult to fit it in without stressing myself out for things later on in the week, especially the Christmas week. But anyway, thank you for that, Vince. And Kevin has donated $2. Thank you for this, Kevin. And the message is, happy 77th birthday to Keith Richards with some rock horns. So thank you for that, Kevin, and happy birthday indeed to Keith. And Ricky has donated $5. Thank you for this, Ricky. The message is, Phil, who's your favourite blues guitar player? Oh, this could take years to answer, but at the top, pretty much at the top of the list would be Gary Moore for me personally, because he's one of those guitarists that after I listen to Jimi Hendrix, and just throw Jimi Hendrix in there as well, but when I started listening to Gary Moore, he had that kind of technique where it was more 80s and hard rock, and the kind of alternate picking and stuff that he threw in that I was learning at the time, and he just threw that into the blues, as well as being a great hard rock player, metal player as well. He had some serious technique. So it might have to be Gary Moore, but I've analysed so many blues players on this channel that, yeah, it's the list could go on all night. But Robert Cray, for example, who I analysed last night, I think it was last night, it just all tends to roll into one, all the memories, but Robert's ability, I thought I'd done one on Robert ages ago, but I couldn't find it on the channel anywhere, so I did Robert again last night. But just listen to his voice as well, just talk about being the full package. But Robert was such a great guitarist with his wide vibrato, the control as well. But if I had to throw somebody in there, it would probably be Gary Moore. But then don't ask me to think about it, because then I'll probably change my mind between 3 or 4 other players, or 5 players. But thank you so much for that, Ricky. And Karen has donated $5. Thank you for that, Karen. The message is, Phil, this is the best I can do to satisfy your desire for Chinese food. By the way, you look like you, and your uniqueness is beautiful. Cheers, Karen. So thank you for that, Karen. And I think I must look like somebody, but hopefully, I mean, this is the other thing. Everybody is unique and looks unique as well, and looks different. So it means that everybody can get a different voice because they've got different features. I do address this in my videos when I talk about vocals and resonance chambers, and the reason that it's going to sound different is because we all look different. But anyway, thank you, Karen, so much for that donation. Right, let's jump into, we're at 20 to 1 in the morning already here. So let's have a look into that thumbs up window, which says 239 at the moment. So we are at 239 for the likes. If you can hit that thumbs up, it'd be much appreciated. We'll see if we can get a spike of the likes at 20 to 1 in the morning here in the UK. We are aiming for 350, so that's 111 people we're waiting on to come into the live chat room. We'll see if we find that many people before the end of the live stream. We hopefully will, but you can keep on hitting that thumbs up. We'll see if we can get a spike of the likes and make our way up to 250, and then the next goal of 300 on the way to our final likes goal for tonight. So we are going to be jumping into another video, and this is going to be it. My cover of Jingle Bells is a little bit light-hearted. I have a hat on. I did this in front of the green screen, so it wasn't actually snowing, it wasn't cold, it was absolutely fine. But we will get into this video, and I'll see you guys after, because we will have a cover being played afterwards as well. Rock! And there we have it. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. And I don't even know when I did that. It's quite a while ago now, but it always pops up at Christmas. And I'm going to have to try and find that hat somewhere because I don't know where it is, but I'll try and find it before Tuesday so that I can be wearing that on the live stream. I'll play that again on Tuesday just so you guys can be sick of it by then. It does seem like the videos are skipping a little bit. It's nothing to do with my connection. Everything's absolutely fine and green and everything is looking great on the stream. It just might be, I don't know, maybe a bit rate thing, if that's even a thing. Maybe I just made that up, but I think there's something about the rate or the megahertz rate of the videos. I don't know. Maybe it's just a frame rate issue. I do not know, but hopefully you guys could hear it a little bit and it wasn't skipping too much. But we will jump back into the super chat window because we have had another donation in there. And Ray has donated $200. Thank you so much for that, Ray. Another very kind donation. And the message is, Merry Christmas. Thank you for helping us all remain joyful and upbeat during this very difficult year. Noob question. Barcodes remain hard for me. I was wondering why you and Barbara Lynn sometimes barcodes with your thumb over the top. What are the advantages? So, thank you for that, Ray. And the advantages of playing the root note with your thumb are massive. I mean, they far outweigh the advantages of playing it with your first finger and getting the wrist angle just pushing back on itself. Everybody that plays bar chords knows that you have to apply pressure from the back of the guitar and you have to bend your wrist so that your wrist is bending towards your thumb, but your thumb's pushing towards your hand. And you can kind of see, if I was simulating playing a bar chord, that is the shape of my hand. And you'll see this, especially in classical players, because a classical guitar is thicker around the neck, so it means that they can't reach over the top with their thumb, so they play with the thumb behind, and they're always in that position. And it means that when they do practice for a very long time, they might get RSI in their wrist, repetitive strain injury, and they'll have real problems with just holding their hand at that angle. It's not good for the wrist. So when I play a bar chord, if I was simulating a bar chord and the way that I play it, it's like that. It's literally a fist. So I approach the guitar and I have my thumb over the top of the neck and I'm playing the chord with my fingers, and that's the position. And it can't get more natural. If you're looking at my wrist and my hand, that's the position that I am in for bar chords compared to that position of having to play it with the thumb behind the neck. So it means that when you're playing with the thumb over the top, it's so much easier on your wrist, and you can play for hours and hours and hours and hours, and you're not going to injure yourself, you're not going to get any RSI problems, and you're just probably going to enjoy it more because you're not going to be scared of bar chords. And what I would suggest is starting out just playing a power chord, the first finger, third finger, little finger, and then placing your second finger in order to get most of the bar chord in there. You'll be missing your high B string and high E string, but then you can just start to manipulate that first finger into position and then try and get that thumb over the top as well. And even if you get the thumb over the top and get the first, second, third and little finger in position, you won't get the top strings, but you'll get most of the chord. You'll get 4 of the 6 strings. When you play a D chord, for example, you just play 4 of the 6 strings. So you should still be able to get a decent sound. It's just practicing and making sure that you're approaching playing those chords. Even though playing a bar chord, it doesn't look like a bar chord because you haven't got the first finger going all the way across. But once you do start playing bar chords in that way, you'll be so much more comfortable playing the chords and you'll be able to play for so much longer as well. But thank you for that donation, Ray. I think I've answered the question, but the main advantages are it's just massively easier to do. And in order to get the whole string onto the fretboard, if you don't do that, if you don't push down on the fretboard hard enough, then you're going to get a buzz to the sound. It's not going to sound very nice. In order to push harder when you're playing with your thumb over the top, you just grip your hand. You're making a fist, and that's how you are getting the pressure on the strings to push them onto the fretboard. Whereas when you're playing a bar chord in the more traditional sense, the pressure has to be manipulated by pushing your thumb against your fingers. So it's not a natural way of supplying pressure. Anyway, so that's another advantage. But anyway, thank you for that, Ray, and it will take practice, but it's definitely worth just practicing as much as you can. And just start out from going behind the guitar, just grab it. Just go behind the guitar and grab the neck so that your hand is in a natural position. I'm just going to grab, it's not plugged in, but I'm going to grab my guitar to show you my approach to a bar chord is I'm taking my hand and I'm grabbing the guitar. That's all I'm doing. I'm literally just grabbing it. You can see my wrist is not at a weird angle. If I take my hand away, it's straight up my wrist. I'm just grabbing as if you don't want the strings to make any noise. That is how comfortable a bar chord position should be. And if I'm playing a standard bar chord, if I'm playing an A here, I'm going to stop and bring my hand out to the front of the screen. That's the position. I mean, that's a right angle of my wrist. So in the long run, if you are practicing many hours a day, it's probably going to be bad news. And this is why, I just put that down and try not to drop it. This is why when I do teach, and there are students that I've had who do practice a lot, maybe 3, 4, 5 hours a day, but they've come to me from another teacher who has taught them bar chords in that way. And of course, kids, I'm talking about 11, 12-year-olds, have got wrist injuries because they're holding their hand. And unfortunately, a lot of teachers just say, oh, if you keep on doing it, you're going to get used to it. And it's just going to be a case of getting used to it so that it doesn't hurt. But when kids are growing day by day at that kind of age, if you're forcing your hand into a really awkward position for 3 or 4 or 5 hours a day, the wrist is growing while it's in this position. So it's a recipe for disaster. But anyway, so that's why whenever a kid comes to me and they're playing a lot of bar chords, I try and teach them with a thumb over the top. You can have the other technique. I sometimes play bar chords with the other technique. When you do want to get a pristine chord on that high E string and you want that to ring out, it's absolutely fine, but then you can swap between the two, so you're never overdoing one shape or that negative shape for the wrist. At that right angle, you can chop and change between a comfortable position and then just play 1 or 2 chords in a slightly more uncomfortable position, but then you can recover while playing the other chords in the more comfortable position. But anyway, Ray, thank you so much for that donation, and I know it was a very long answer to that question, but thank you for that. And Linda Z is in the house and has donated $5. Thank you for that, Linda. The message is, have you ever had a student who was truly tone deaf? If so, how did that affect the way you taught the student? So thank you for that, Linda. And yes, it's quite common that people can't hear pitches and just can't hear what you're doing on the guitar. And then when I'm trying to teach them and they're trying to copy what I'm doing, they're totally going the wrong way. If they're playing a note, I'll be playing a higher note on the guitar and they'll be going lower because they can't hear. But it's just teaching people how to hear music, because it's something that I think personally that even if you are tone deaf, you can learn to hear music and hear the difference between notes. It's just a language. It's exactly the same as trying to learn another language. Before you learn it, you can't speak it. You don't know any words. You don't know what they mean. But once you start learning what the word is and then you hear the word, you start to recognize it. And that's all it is with notes. You'll start to recognize notes when you listen to them enough. And that's all it is, just exposure. And also being told how to interpret the information, because a lot of people just don't realize that even now I'm hitting notes when I'm talking. If I just stay here when I'm talking, we all talk in notes, but people don't really see it that way. And when people get excited or angry, their voice goes up, just as mine did there. When I said, when they get excited or angry, that's all you're doing when you're singing, and that's all an instrument does. So this is why when you have the crescendo at the end of the song, or when you have your high note in a chorus, it's going to be more dramatic, because when you talk, you get higher up in pitch when you become more dramatic and more excited, or if you start shouting or get more emotional. But anyway, so yeah, it's just how you decipher the information of music and that language, but I think it is possible. And I've had students in the past that have had no idea, but we gradually get there, and to the point where when I play a note, after say 6 months of lessons, they will now ascend to the note that I'm playing, because they're starting to understand. They can hear that it's higher. They don't have this approach of being totally lost. Their brain's starting to work it out. But anyway, thank you for that, Linda. And Lucy has donated $4.99. Thank you for that, Lucy. The message is, how do you feel, fellow wingers and new wingers, getting in late? Spike the likes with the thumbs up, some rock horns, a heart, and peace. So thank you for that, Lucy. And let's have a look where we are with our likes. 282. So if you could hit that thumbs up, guys, would be much appreciated. We are closing in on the big 300, and it's just gone 10 to 1 in the morning here. So we are moving along really quickly. We will get into the requested cover for tonight soon. And then we've still got the pick roulette. Also, I've got to show you guys a picture as well. But Vince has donated $10. Thank you so much for that, Vince. And the message has been deleted by Carla. So never mind, Vince. We will find out what the message was. But thank you for that donation. And Lethea has donated $2. Thank you for that, Lethea. And the message is, so is perfect pitch a function of memory? So thank you for that. And this is a really interesting topic of discussion, because Julie Andrews, for example, she was always described as having perfect pitch. But then she said she's never had perfect pitch. It's just practice and finding where the notes are and muscle memory of the vocal cords. Once you know where a note is, the more you repeat that note, the more your muscle memory remembers where to put your vocal cords in order to find that note. So having perfect pitch, I think nobody ever has perfect pitch. They have very accurate pitch, but it's never perfect, because perfect pitch is auto-tune. It means that somebody, when they're singing, gets snapped to an absolute value and it never moves. Whenever you put a great vocalist's voice through any kind of pitch analyzer, any kind of software, you'll see that their note is never ever a perfectly straight line. It always has slightly different peaks and troughs in there that are minimal with great singers, but it wobbles. You'll see it. It's never a straight line. And as soon as you listen to something that has been auto-tuned, it is a straight line. So you can actually see it visually. You can see auto-tune, and you can see when something hasn't been auto-tuned because of these tiny imperfections, which is called expression. And that's why the great singers are so great, because they have expression in their voice. They have a particular personality to their voice that are these imperfections, up and down and sharp and flat of that perfect pitch note. But anyway, so yeah, as I said, it's an interesting discussion, because there's really, in old school music, before autotune, there really was no such thing as perfect pitch. There was just very accurate pitch, but it wasn't perfect. But Julie Andrews was just a great example of that, because she was someone who was referred to as having perfect pitch, and then she said, no, I haven't, I just practice a lot. But anyway, thank you so much for that, Lethea. And Sue has donated $20. Thank you for this, Sue. And the message is, if you could guitar lessons from anyone alive, who would it be? Probably, again, this is a question that could go on for years, but probably Paul Gilbert, because he's one of those guys that is so technically proficient at playing, but he also has so many different styles that he plays in, and he doesn't play speed or play fast for speed's sake. He always throws it in tastefully, and that's what I really admire about him as a player. So if I had to choose someone, that's just the first name that really jumped in there, because of his technical ability and also the amount of styles that he plays so well. But thank you so much for that, Sue. And Perry has donated $15. Thank you so much for that, Perry. And the message is, does Bobby Hatfield have the largest range of any singer you have ever heard? Again, this could be a very long answer to the question, but I'd say that he's up there. He is definitely up there. I'm trying to think of maybe Frankie Valli as well. I mean, he went right up. The important thing to mention is when we're talking about range, going all the way down, because it's not just about high notes, because a lot of guys can hit very high notes in their head voice and falsetto, but they also then have the ability to go low down in their range. So it means it adds so many notes to the bottom end of their range. And this is why somebody who might have a 3 or 4 or 5 octave range might max out at, say, for example, an E5, a G5, an A5, way up there. This is, I'm talking about in the male range. I mean, that's a countertenor range way up there above the male tenor range. So seriously high notes there, but they might even be able to go down to 3 octaves below that or 4 octaves below that. So that would be, you know, talking about an E2, for example. And this is the thing that when you're talking about 2 or 3 octaves, it's how the voice is used and the tonal consistency of the voice, because a lot of singers can access their whistle voice or their whistle register, but they're not going to be using that in a song. It's just really something that they can say, I've got 6 octaves, but in terms of usable range, it wouldn't be classed as that, because they wouldn't be using their whistle register in a contemporary setting where really you might just have a high C or that C5 as your high note, just in that male tenor range or above that A4 of the male tenor range. That's where it's written down as ending, but once you get above that into the countertenor range, hitting those notes, you can hit those with a little bit of authority, whereas a whistle register note, you're never going to be able to hit that with any body because of the nature of it. It is a whistle. But anyway, thank you so much for that donation, Perry. And Karen has donated $5. Thank you for that, Karen. The message is, your cover of Jingle Bells was awesome. Phil, listening to you gave me cheerful visions of headbanging reindeer and elves. Laugh out loud. Rock on, Karen. So thank you for that, Karen. And Orlando has donated $5 and he's back in the house. And the message is, hello everyone, I'm dropping in to say hi. I will catch the replay. Rock, with lots of rock horns. So thank you, Orlando, for jumping in to the live stream tonight and for hitting that thumbs up. Everybody can still hit that thumbs up. I haven't got the Spike the Lights mug today because this is the Saturday mug. Let's see how they get on. And there we have it. By the way, if you want to get your hands on some merchandise such as the mugs or the hoodie or the t-shirts, then you can head into the tray underneath this video or to teespring.com. That's where the tray links to, and just type in Wings of Pegasus. You'll be fine. You'll find all of the merchandise also over on the website, wingsofpegasus.com. You can go to the merch section there and you'll see all of Carla's merchandise, such as the picks and the pick necklaces, earrings, you name it, it is going to be on there. But thank you, Orlando, for that donation. Susan has donated $9.99. Thank you for that, Susan. The message is completely unrelated, but what Christmas sweet do you most look forward to? And this is, as you guys probably can predict, Turkish Delight, or probably Turkish Delight. I'm going to just go for that because that's the one treat that I really do have only at Christmas. I know I've mentioned chocolate orange before, which I do look forward to as well, but Turkish Delight just in the box with the sugar icing on it, that's what I just have at Christmas, so that is a treat. But so thank you for that question, Susan, and that is my answer. We are going to be jumping into the other cover for tonight, and it's 1 a.m. already, so we're going to have to scoot on. Maybe we'll watch this, we'll get into the picture that I want to show, then we'll get into the special pick roulette where we're going to have 3 winners tonight. And just to see who has requested this, it was Patricia who requested my cover of Hero. I do have a song that's called Hero, but this is going to be Chad Kroger's song called Hero, my version of it. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and I'll see you after. Rock!
I am so high, I can hear heaven. and that's why I fear it won't do. They say that a hero can save us. I'm not gonna stand here and wait. Hold on to the wings of the eagles, watch as they all fly away. They're watching us, they're watching us, as we all fly away. They're watching us, they're watching us, as we all fly away. They're watching us, they're watching us, as we all fly away. Whoa.
And there we have it. That was my cover of Hero by Chad Kroeger, and that was his song that he wrote for this Spider-Man movie. I think I included that at the beginning of that video, so thank you for requesting that over on Patreon, Patricia. And where are we at with the likes? Let's have a little look in. 316. We are getting there. We're getting close, and we're at 1:05, so we might have enough time to do it. I'm not sure. We are always in a race against time on these live streams, but just quickly getting into that super chat window again, because we have a donation from Marge, who has donated $2. Thank you for that, Marge. The message is, someone told me he had absolute pitch. Is that so? So thank you for that, Marge. And I'm not sure who you're talking about, but if somebody said to you that they had perfect pitch, absolute pitch, people refer to it as the same thing, but it depends. If you're talking about a vocalist having perfect pitch and hitting notes perfectly, there's two separate ways that you can explain it or talk about it. So perfect pitch, when you're talking about a vocal performance, it's never perfectly on the note. But having perfect pitch or absolute pitch is something that, especially prevalent in children who listen to a lot of music, or they listen to a lot of notes and scales and learn music from a young age. They learn music as a language, so their brain stores the notes as effectively words. So the words that you and I use, if I was to say potato, that word for a kid who has listened to music might be a C sharp. They just hear the note as a word, because music is a language, and when you're learning to speak as a kid, you're taking in everything. A child is learning everything, so if they've had exposure to music from a very young age, they can have absolute pitch in terms of being able to hit a note and tell you what a note is, because it's like the piano telling them a word. So they just repeat the word back, and it just so happens that that word has a letter and a number, like a C sharp 5 or whatever. So that is absolute pitch from the perspective of listening to music and being able to tell what that note is. When people say that a singer has perfect pitch, that's where, like Julie Andrews says, she doesn't. It's just something that she's learned to do. And I think people get a little bit confused as to when they listen to a great singer who's just been singing for years and years and years and years, and they couldn't sing to begin with, but now they can sing and hit notes. It's just practice. And they think that that person has got perfect pitch and they've got some kind of advantage, or the amount of times that I've heard people even say to me, and I've said on these live streams so many times, that I couldn't sing, and then I taught myself how to sing. It just takes 7 or 8 years of dedicated practice, but you do learn how to sing. So then people that comment and say, oh, I wish that I could sing, you're so lucky. It's never really about luck. It's always about hard work and just working harder than everybody else. And then you might have some people who are naturally good at singing, but if you work at singing a lot, you will overtake them. You will become better and sound nicer than the person who can just sing but hasn't worked at it. And if you keep on working at it, then they always say that hard work always beats lazy talent, and that certainly is the case with vocals. And you'll also have sometimes a person who's naturally good at singing. One night their voice can just go and they don't understand their voice as to why it's suddenly gone, and they might say, oh, it's just one of those days. Whereas if you learn about your voice and you learn to sing, you can understand your voice and you know if anything's wrong with your voice, and it puts you in such a stronger position for performances. But anyway, thank you so much for that donation, Marge. Deborah has donated $5. Thank you again for that, Deborah. The message is, I recently read that Howard Shore's peerless movie score to Lord of the Rings is the finest movie score ever written. What are your thoughts? So thank you for that. And yes, I do like the score to Lord of the Rings, but I also like the score to so many movies. And John Williams, I've mentioned in the past about being one of my favourite composers from that perspective, because he's just a guy that gives personality to every single movie that he writes for and composes for. So I won't be able to nail down a favourite score or a favourite movie score particularly. I'd have to think about that for quite a while, but I used to have just so many different scores from movies. Back to the Future, for example, it was pretty mostly John Williams. Jurassic Park as well. So much in there. But anyway, Deborah, thank you so much for that donation. Michael has donated $5. Thank you again for that, Michael. The message is, great lesson, Phil. It works for Born to be Wild. So thank you for that. And Jill has donated $10. And the message is, love your music lessons. Merry Christmas. So Merry Christmas, Jill. And thank you for that donation. We are going to be jumping into, first of all, just a picture that I want to show, because we have had another picture uploaded to the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook. You guys can join in there if you want to, and if you haven't already. But I do have to go to a different place in order to find this. I can disappear myself from the screen, and there we go. And we should have Sherry up on screen with her pick. And this is the pick roulette pick. So it is a very limited edition. It's got a signature on the back. And there is the message, Merry Christmas. So thank you so much for uploading that, Sherry. And also congratulations for getting your hands on that pick. Have a great Christmas as well. We are going to be jumping into our own pick roulette. Now there's going to be 3 winners, so we're at 1:10 here in the morning. We have to move things along, and we can also hit that thumbs up. If you get a chance to hit that thumbs up, that would be great, because we're getting close to our target for tonight. We are only 22 away. Is that correct? Is that my maths going wrong? 22 maybe? Maybe 21 now, but we will see where we end up, because we're almost ending the live stream very soon. Let's get into the pick roulette for this Saturday night. We're going to have 3 winners, so brace yourselves. So here we have the pick roulette wheel up on screen. And we always have a bit of a shuffle. If you haven't seen one of these before, we shuffle the names 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we give it a spin to see who wins. And in order to get your name on the pick roulette wheel, you have to type I agree in the live chat room while it is on screen. And then if we hit the likes target for that live stream, then you will be in the next week's pick roulette. Your name will be on the wheel. But let's give it a spin and see who's gonna win. And just while we're watching it go round, if you want to hit that thumbs up, that's absolutely fine as well. It always takes a little bit of time for this to slow down, and it always goes on a little bit longer than you think. So here we go, the first spin. By the way, this is for the Wings of Pegasus signed pick. That's what we're doing first, and then the tin is going to be second, and the picks are going to be third. So this is for the signed pick, the one that we can see in the middle of the pick roulette wheel. And we're slowing down. We have Michelle, Doug, Alexi, Selena, or Bowler. Is it going to go any further? It looks like it's pretty much stopping. Let's see. And it's Bolo. I think I said Bowler, but it's so small on the screen. Congratulations, Bolo. You have won yourself a pick. So what happens now is that Bolo has to make themselves known in the live chat room to Carla. If you can send a message in there, Bolo, in order to make sure that we can get your special pick to you, and that's how it works. If you're not in the live chat room, then unfortunately it just goes away and we lose the pick forever. But thank you so much for entering. Congratulations to Bolo for winning tonight. And let me get rid of this screen because we're going to be doing the second spin. So we'll shuffle again 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is for the Wings of Pegasus tin, as you could hear there. Let's give this a go and see what happens. That didn't rhyme. That wasn't a very good catchphrase, that one. Give it a go and see who shows or something. Anyway, let's see where we're at. I might see if actually I can adjust the capture area so that we can actually see the name of who wins, because sometimes it doesn't show up, which is a little bit annoying, but we are slowing down. And let's see, I mean, what are the odds that Bolo wins again? Probably 1 in 90, whatever it is on the wheel. 90 odd names here, but we have Abby going through, and is that Sue? Well, I can't read it, it's a little bit too small, but Joan as well. Is it getting as far as Deborah? And it could be Deborah. There it is. And I did say about there's especially a chance if we're doing 3 of these for people to win who might have already won before, but it's absolutely fine. And Deborah is the winner of the Wings of Pegasus pick holder tin. So congratulations, Deborah, on winning that. And I'm going to close this and we're going to do the final spin of the night. And I'm just going to move this to the right so we can see the little hand to see where it ends up. So that it's all above board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's spin and see who wins. Let's see what happens. This is the final spin, and this is, by the way, for 3 Wings of Pegasus picks. They come in packs of 3. They are from the Wings of Pegasus website, the merchandise that Carla has on there. So this will be just a supply of picks for whoever wins this, and it's starting to slow down. Let's see who is going through. We've got Lucy going through there, and Michael's just gone through. Ray's just going through as well. And Carl, Bolo again has just gone through. Almost. What were the chances? And Jay forever, or is it going to be Grey Cot, or Karat? Grey Cat, or it might be Kerry. It's Kerry. Wow, I couldn't see. It looked like it was just on the line, and it just went over to Kerry's name. So congratulations, Kerry, for winning the pick tonight. Well, 3 picks. So we've got the 3-pick winner is Kerry. Congratulations. And again, if you can make yourselves known to Carla in the live chat room, that would be great, because then Carla can organize it all for you and get those prizes sent off to you. So congratulations to everyone who has won tonight. And I'm just going to get rid of the screen because now we are back. So congratulations all winners tonight for a very special pick roulette night with 3 winners, the most that we've ever had. And if you can just message in the live chat room, that would be great in order to keep it all organized. And by the way, huge shout out to Carla for organizing the whole pick roulette wheel and keeping it all organized, doing the merchandise as well. It is massively appreciated, and it gives us something to look forward to on these live streams as well. Something else just to mix it up a little bit. But we are at 341 likes for tonight's live stream, and it's almost 20 past 1 here in the morning. We're going to have to call it to a close. really soon. I don't think we're going to make it to the Pick Roulette. Maybe I should call it that, the Pick Roulette. Anyway, the Pick Roulette likes. I don't think if we're going to make it, it's going to be 360. So we're looking for another 17 people before the end of the live stream. And last time we went on a little bit longer, and it looks like we're approaching 20 past 1 here in the morning. So if these 17 people are going to come along, they have to come along now and hit that thumbs up in order for us to get another Pick Roulette likes target and to have another one next week. I don't know when next week, in terms of Christmas days, what it is. I'm going to have to do my calendar check and make sure that there will be a Pick Roulette at the next stream. It'll just cross over. If we do hit the target, whenever the next stream will be, we will do it from a week from now on. And the Tuesdays are always repeated on the Tuesdays, and the Saturdays are always repeated on the Saturdays. It's always a week, and then you type I agree in the live chat room in order to get your name on that Pick Roulette wheel. But let's just jump into the final video of the night, and this is going to be the live version of my song called Art Not Commerce. And let me just have a little look over. Patricia also requested this, and Kevin. So thank you guys for that over on Patreon. I'll have a little scroll down to see if it did pop up anywhere else. I know there were a few requests for Unwanted Stranger as well. So thank you guys for those. But we are going to be jumping into Art Not Commerce. Joan also requested that. So we will jump into it now. It's going to be the live version of it. I'm going to keep the live chat room up on screen. So if we do hit that target of 360, you can type I agree and get yourselves on that Pick Roulette wheel. But we will see how we get on. So roughly 4 or 5 minutes left of the live stream. So it's going to be a rush to hit those thumbs up if you haven't hit them already. But I'll see you guys after this rock.
I'll make my own way.
And there we have it. That was my song called Art Not Commerce, and you can get that at wingsofpegasus.com and also on iTunes and Amazon from my album called Persistence. But it's better for me if you go to my website, because then I don't have to give away a percentage. So it looks like we are going to be calling it to a close now at 356 likes. So we were so close. That's only 4 people away. 4 people, that's how close we were to getting to the Pick Roulette likes target tonight. And I'm not sure that we're going to make it. I could try and elongate the ending of the live stream, but I'm not sure it's going to be possible. We're just going to have to maybe make do with 356. So thank you everyone for joining me tonight and for hitting that thumbs up as well, because we got really, really close to the Pick Roulette likes target. And just to mention about that target, because it is so high, 360, which is crazy. I remember when we had tried to get to 100 and then trying to get to 200, which was again crazy, but now to 300, and just while I'm babbling on, we've now passed 360. So who would believe it? Those 4 people did come along. So thank you everyone for hitting that thumbs up, and the people that just came along at the end of the live stream to spike the likes. This just goes to prove that every single spike the likes is as important as the last, because they've been happening throughout the live stream, and now we just got a little spike at the end. And what I'm going to say is that some people might click on the like button and might click on it again, so it goes up and it goes down. But the rules are, if ever we get to, say for example we hit 360 and then somebody clicks it again to take it down to 359, if it touches 360, that counts, because it means there has been 360 people hitting a thumbs up. If they decide to take it away, then that's absolutely fine as well, but we will be having a Pick Roulette because it was 360 and everybody would have seen it. So we're now up to 366, so maybe there were some people just holding back their likes right until the end of the live stream. But thank you so much guys for hitting that thumbs up. And just so we address all of these donations, because I think a couple have just come in, and Paul has donated $20. Thank you for that, Paul. The message is, so while we're waiting for the last of the likes, here are a couple of artist suggestions. How about Tommy Berlin, or maybe Mike Campbell and Roy Wood might be interesting, just saying. So thank you for that, Paul. And they might all be there already. I'm not sure. I'll have to have a check. But if I haven't done an analysis video on all of them, I've certainly watched a lot of videos on them in my own time. But thank you for that, Paul. And Ray has donated $25. Thank you so much for that, Ray. The message is, Phil, does the thumb over the top help with the playing of melody and rhythm? And yes, it does. It means that you can play lead and you can supply a root note with your thumb. So it means that if you're playing, for example, minor pentatonic shape 1, and you're playing your high E string and B string and then the G string, if you're playing those notes, you can then just flip your thumb over the top to give you the root note of the chord in order to give yourself a reference point. But also, if you just squash down your first finger and grab the guitar and let go of your other fingers and just have the thumb over the top and then the first finger barring 4 strings, so the E, the B, the G and the D string, you're now playing a minor 7th chord. And that pops up in the blues all the time. So it's a good way to just get used to having that thumb over the top. And sometimes you don't need to have your thumb all the way over the top of the guitar. And this is something that sometimes some people think that, oh, you've got to get it right over the top. All you need to do is just get a little bit of skin to grip the string and just pull your thumb towards you. And by pulling it towards you, it means that you'll be just getting contact between the string and the fretboard, and you'll be amazed at how light you can actually pinch back on the string with your thumb in order to get the root note. And also you can hit the string slightly softer with the right hand so that you don't get a buzzing sound. If you are trying to get that thumb over the top, just keep it light to begin with, see where that note is in order to fret it, and hit it really lightly with the right hand. As soon as you start smacking the strings, you'll start hearing buzzing all over the place, because that's what will happen when the string is vibrating more, if it's not quite on the fretboard properly, then it will buzz. Whereas if you're pushing down onto the fretboard and you hit it lightly, you'll find that you can actually fret the note lightly as well. And that's a way to play dynamically, first of all, but also to save your fingers. You don't have to push as hard as you think, especially when you're learning to play lead guitar and just playing chords in general. But thank you for that, Ray. And Jan has donated 50 Norwegian kroner again, so thank you so much for that. And that's going to be an end to the super chat donations tonight. Thank you guys so much for all of those donations. It really does make a difference and allow me to do stupid things like this, putting this all up on screen, but just these live streams and everything that I do on the channel. And it allows me the time to answer all of your messages, and everybody that has messaged me knows that I reply to everybody. So thank you for that. It does take a lot of time, but as I've mentioned earlier in this live stream, I am very organized with my time to make sure that I can answer everybody. So thank you for joining me tonight. I'm going to see you guys at the next video. That'll be tomorrow night. And I'll probably post on Patreon what I'll be up to over Christmas and when the videos will be coming out and when the live streams are happening as well. But thank you everyone again for hitting that thumbs up. Thank you patrons at the bottom of the screen and the super chat donations. I know that the patrons pop up in there as well. So thank you for all of your support. Everybody try and stay safe and as safe as possible. Follow your government's advice, whatever they're saying, in order to stay safe. And I'll catch you guys at the next live stream, the last one before Christmas, which will be Tuesday night, one of these live streams. I'll have to see what's happening with the analysis, the live analysis on Wednesday. I haven't looked into that yet. It's all about finding a video that isn't going to be copyright blocked so that at least we can look at something live. So I'll see you guys tomorrow night for an analysis video, and I'll let you guys know what's happening. But I will be live streaming on Tuesday night. So stay safe and have a great weekend. I will see you guys at the next one. Rock!